very fast. That's extremely fast. But once he started to cooperate, then they start to, the U.S. attorney, the prosecutors, they start to talk to him. Who you know, what happened. In the meantime, they've already got all of this evidence.
But my question is, could it have been a strong possibility that Tekashi 6ix9ine was working with the feds way before everybody got arrested?
Well, Titi, that's the word on the street. I have no evidence of that, and I have no confirmation of that from any official or from anyone.
Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there who are pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. And it's kind of a hot topic right now. As you can see, YouTube is promoting it. Talking about the trial of this Ephraimite who basically, he was in a gang and things turned sour, and now he's testifying in court, against the people of his gang or whatever. And just goes to show you, it confirms what the scriptures say. And I just want to jump into a few scriptures because, she just asked. I started with this part because she just asked her, like, if this is some kind of thing where the federal government are sending people into hip hop to infiltrate or some shit like that. And she's an Israelite too. The woman, I think it's an Ephraimite who's asking the questions, but Jake is not being wise in considering that you're in this man's system. Because I was doing some more research today, and they were talking about basically, hip hop, which hip hop was started by Israelites. It started off in New York or whatever, and now it's the #1 streaming music in the world over every other type of music. And as you can see in the background of the picture, this is a spiritual picture because they got, graffiti in the sky. They got a lot of demons and basically, it's symbolism for the witchcraft and the demonic ass energy that's not only over New York but over Babylon, but especially New York, because New York is like the chief city, not just in America but in the world. So every vibration that comes out of there is definitely under the vibration of Satan. And hey, the dude in this case, if you review the case or whatever, you want to go through and listen to the whole thing, but basically he did what anybody in those little gang organizations do. All right, and this is why the men of the Lord, we talk about the brotherhood being so important, because the brotherhood under the order of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we have a certain mission, and we're all one body, and we're all in order, and we all stand for the same thing. You have different brothers with different personalities, idiosyncrasies, but overall, when we get together, brothers are under one accord, under unity. And these Jakes in the world, they're not under that same unity. They're not under that same vibration. That's why when the going gets tough, every single time, and people predicted this about this guy, going around the country and trying to play a gangster. That's why it's that whole hip hop thing, because this is exactly what hip hop is about, basically. As this is what the music has come down to, trying to pretend to be a gangster, pretend to be the biggest drug dealer, the biggest kingpin, and when that persecution from Esau comes down on you, you really have no integrity. You have no integrity to fall back on, so you'll snitch and you'll give up, your friends and people you associate with. Really, they're associates, they're not friends. All right, the word friend comes from free R, meaning brother. But this is what it says about us. This is 1 Peter 4. All right, because people don't understand what the Israelites are about. They think, we go out and we yell and, these guys on the corner being militant, which, brothers are a little bit militant. You have to be militant as a soldier and to a certain extent. But ultimately, it's about sealing the elect and making ourselves a living sacrifice for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, along with some more things, but ultimately that's what it's about. And this is 1 Peter 4:12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. Yeah, because we're coming to a time where the brothers pushing the word are gonna come under persecution. You know, we've had a little bit so far. You know, certain things have popped up in the news and then they went away. It wasn't necessarily time for them to come out. But then we know later there's going to be a famine of the word. There's going to be a great persecution against men of the Lord who are pushing the word. You know, and as you can see, when these gang niggas and all these fake gangsters, they get in the spotlight, every last one of them, they crack, they snitch, they make deals. They, you know, even so-called mafia, you know, people glorify the Godfather and all that shit, but you know, those guys, they all tell on each other and they break the code too, because ultimately a lot of them, they have no integrity. Some of them don't, but many of them do. But as it pertains to the Israelites, which the scriptures tell you, matter of fact, I'm gonna jump in here, Revelation. No, it's still on this, Salakia. This is 1 Peter 4:13. But rejoice inasmuch as you are partakers of Yahweh Shai sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. You're going to be glad because the scriptures say, woe to them that desire the day of the Lord. You know, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. But us, we're going to be glad with exceeding joy if we make it, because we know, or we hope, we have that deep hope that the Lord is going to bring us up and ascend us into the heavens. All right, as men were ascended before, because men have ascended before in the book. Only Israelites, the only people on this earth who've ever ascended into the heavens were the Israelites. This is verse 14. If ye be reproached for the name of Yahweh Shai, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of the Most High resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. And that's exactly what these guys are suffering for. They're suffering for being murderers, thieves, drug dealers, you know, but evildoers. A lot of different ways, but evildoers. Or, you know, even as a busybody in other men's matters. You're not supposed to get into another man's personal business, you know, unless he asks you something or invites you in on a topic. You're not supposed to get into another man's business. And, you know, as you can see, with this situation that's buzzing, you know, and the thing about our people that you notice with this kind of thing is, because his gang, you know, they did him dirty. They took some money from him or something like that. They committed adultery with his woman. So, you know, after that, those two things, he's like, well, shit, I might as well just snitch and we can all go. You know, because these guys don't have a code. You know, but brothers, hey, under this book, as much as people hate this book, they try to talk about it, try to defame it. This book holds up a code, and when brothers maintain that code, then it's a certain strength, it's a certain power. That's why when people come against the scriptures, the scriptures say what? The devil flee, but no man pursueth. They got to get out of there. That heat starts hitting their ass. But a little more on this.
I would trust to have direct knowledge of that, but that's what people are saying on the streets. That's what people are texting me. That's what people are saying.
And the reason why I guess people are saying this is because the evidence is so clear. Like the audio, the pictures, it's like physically being in the room. So was he mic'd up and wired up when he was around all of these people, you know, and potentially have been the mold for the entire case, like the person that they used to take everybody down, and he.
Well, okay,
No, and once again, You talking about this guy? Is he a mole? Well, yeah, they used him. They used him once the opportunity presented itself. And this is what Jake doesn't understand, man. Every time you try to play this role, you try to build yourself up, especially in the crime, in the underworld. They try to build themselves up and they try to become this gangster and this godfather. Esau comes and they use their law. They throw the book at you. They do all kind of, they hack into your computer. They got all kind of audio clips of him on the phone and his manager on the phone and different other people on the phone from the gang. Which, hey, every time you get on the phone with anybody at any time, that shit is recorded. And then what they do is they can take that, because everything now is digital. They got these servers that can store millions of terabytes of information. So they can take that, they can compress it, and then at a later time, they can use that information, they can bring it out, and they got it recorded. Everything is recorded. Everything is recorded. She's gonna say that, because Jake still, they're not getting it. They're not getting it. You banging and doing all that crazy shit, that's not gonna take Esau down. That's not gonna make you a pillar, in this society. It's not. Because Jake is a natural warrior. We wanna have a certain militance and all of this stuff, but they go about it the wrong way.
To that point, and to be fair, to be fair, they started looking at Trey White. They started looking at 9 Trey since 2013. And what people have to understand is,
so they've been watching them since 2013, and just like the scriptures talk about, you're supposed to have 2 or 3 witnesses. Well, hey, when the federal government comes for you, which eventually, they're going to come to the Israelites and they're going to be confounded, because brothers are not doing we're not doing anything as evildoers, and there's not any, there's none of that shit against us. We're just doing the work of the Lord. We're reading the scriptures, we're teaching the scriptures, we're prophesying according to the scriptures. But these people they're going to suffer as evildoers. And like she said, they've been watching you, because this is Esau's kingdom. He's gonna watch. He's gonna listen.
They think commit a crime. If I'm not caught right away, or for a while, or after a year or so, it's not going. I'm clear. Nothing's going to happen. That's not the case. If you're part, especially if you're part of a gang, if you're part of an organized criminal, any type of crew, whatever you want to call it. If you're working with other people in the commission of what you know is a crime, or what we all accept as crime, drug dealing, gun money, shooting people, killing people, these kinds of things. If you think you got away with it, you probably didn't. They're probably watching you. They're probably waiting until they build a strong enough case like this, where they have piles of photos, piles of video surveillance, and the technology is so good right now. I mean, look at what we can do with our phones. You look at the throwback pictures and you're like, wow, even that was with a camera. Look at how bad that was. The technology is incredible now. The technology that law enforcement has, that we know about, that we, as journalists know about, that came into play, that came into our daily lives, especially here in New York, after 9/11, to fight terrorism, would blow people's minds away. Everybody knows about video cameras, in stores. Do they understand the streets? Do they understand all of Manhattan is wired? Do they understand there's license plate readers that can put you, as they use to help place the crack the chinks case? There's license plate readers that can put you in a car at a certain place at a certain time. There's technology that can tell when shots are fired and where shots are fired. So there was a
Exactly. And that's Esau. That's Esau. They got satellites in the heavens, Hey. That's and the apostles go into it all the time. If you saw it in the movie, they had that shit 20 years ago. They got images. They got satellite images, like they showed you that they had pictures basically from the Cuban Missile Crisis. They had satellite images from the Cuban Missile Crisis. They knew that they had missiles. And then years later, they came out with Google Maps and all this stuff and Waze. And now, everybody has a certain access to looking at a certain map or something. Hey, and that's Esau. And just like she said, they got these phones. The phone connects to the tower, so they can tell if you're in a certain part of the city because your phone is connected to whatever tower is in that part of the city. So they can go back and they can check that. You got like they said, they got those things they can record a gunshot and they can tell how far it was and what direction it came from. All right. Then they got, like she said, Manhattan is wired, so they got, and not just Manhattan, but the whole the whole U.S. They got these traffic lights. They can read your license plate. They can scan your license plate wherever it's at. They can tap into they could tap into local cameras, different cameras that they can find a local camera, by where you live at, and they can go and run the playback. Hey, the point being, man, you trying to do all of this dumb shit against this man, you're gonna suffer as an evildoer. All right, and Jake is still, cause this chick interviewing her, she don't have a clue. And Jake is still on that shit when Esau, he's got this locked down. Matter of fact, let's get the blessing to Esau and I can close. It says, it's Genesis 27:30. It said, and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce going out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry. And when you hear Esau's music, that's what you hear. You hear these Edomites do rock and goth and all this shit. They're crying out. Their soul is crying out. Because they that blessing, they don't have that blessing. That blessing was took. Well, Esau gave his blessing up. And it was prophesied that Jacob was going to have that blessing anyway. All right, the Most High had this written from the beginning. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob or Yaquab in the Hebrew, which means supplanter? For he has supplanted me 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, but he gave it away, really. He said, Has thou not reserved a blessing for me? Matter of fact, let's jump right down to the point. Verse 39, Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So you're gonna dwell on the earth, you're gonna be in the heavens above. And these Edomites, they're the first to do that. They're the first to besides the chariots, but they're the first to be able to fly across the world. Excuse me. They have the fatness of the earth, some of which they stole from us. They stole from the sons of Jacob. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And these Edomites, some of them say, I don't go nowhere without my gun. That's what some of them say. By thy sword they shall live. And shall serve thy brother. And what are they doing here in America? They're serving Jake. Shooting these cops, shooting Jake in the back. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. There you go. And Esau, these Edomites, they hate us. And they smile and they wave, and secretly deep in their mind they have that hatred. And they desire to use that sword against us. And what do the scriptures say about us? The men who are not committing ourselves to this kind of shit. Because this is infamy, this is dishonor. This is complete dishonor. with all these niggas. And the reason I did the lesson, because these guys represent all of these gang niggas. They represent them. You know, they can say what they want, they can make all these videos that they want, but when they get in there and they start looking at that time, they look at that cell, most of them will fold. Most of them will fold. All right, and men of the Lord, matter of fact, let's let the scriptures talk. It's Acts 5:38. It said, "Now I say to you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work will be of men, it will come to naught. But if ye be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found even to fight against the Most High." So, hey, refrain from these men. If this counsel, if this work be of men, it will come to naught. All this shit comes to naught. The Black Panthers, they came to naught. All these different gangs, eventually they come to naught. They come to infighting. They split. They break off into sets. That's why you got so many gangs across the USA. They break off into different sets and whatever, subgroups. But the top group is the Israelites. And in the Israelites, there's only one body. There's only one body that the Lord is dealing with. This is Revelations 2:10. This is ended off on this. All right, because ultimately, some of the men of the Lord, we're going to have to go into prison, but we're going to go in there with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. We're not going to go in, you know, looking like this with our heads down. We're going to go in with that hope. Even if they kill me, I know that I have a crown. I know that I have certain things that are coming to me. So saith the Holy Bible. So saith Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Going to show you that the devil is an actual man. So we call these people devils. That's who's going to come for us. The devils, Esau. So the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And that's what the whole thing is for, that crown of life. So, hey, we want that crown. We desire that crown. We desire that rulership. We desire that power. We desire the peace. We desire the kingdom. We desire all those things. You know, we desire our woman us to be able to be in position to put our woman in order. We desire every man desires all these things. So with that being said, man, hey, men of the Lord, continue to maintain your integrity. You know, you get into a situation, you just got to face that situation. You got to pray. You got to put prayers up. You got to deal with it. Hey, this kind of shit, you know, what these guys are doing, everybody's about to be sitting in a box, you know. But we have different principles, so Lord willing, you know, we're not going to end up looking crazy and goofy like these guys, you know. So, hey, y'all, hey, Lord willing is edifying for you. Shalom.